Okay, you're on.
Well, there's
Oh.
an ad.
Oh, okay. That's how you're doing it. That's good.
Thank you for joining the Hawaii Wellness Network, and we're live. We have a really exciting project coming up. It's a book, and it's called 2013 Messages of Peace from Hawaii. And we have two of the authors that are going to be in the book. We're very excited. Paul and Angela, and if you'd like to talk a little bit about your background and your experience in health and healing, that would be great. And then Angela can as well.
Okay. My name is Paul Fletcher, and I am a Divine Master Teacher and Healer. I've been certified as a Master Teacher and Healer right here at the Love Peace Harmony Center, where we're filming from. And what does that mean? That basically means I can do healing in person and at a distance. And it's just about any issue, Lori. It could be a physical ailment, it could be an emotional or mental trauma, or even a spiritual blockage. And just today I got a call from one of the people from here, and she was going through major trauma. So over the phone, we just worked through about 15 minutes of some very specific processes, and she was just happy as a lark afterwards. And so that's one example. And then I just started taking on pet healing.
Oh, great.
And then one of my things that you keep wanting me to spend more time on is doing soul readings, and so apparently you like what I do there.
Yes.
So
It's always good to get good guidance.
yes.
Yeah, second opinions of what you're feeling.
Yes.
Wonderful. And Angela?
I am an intuitive empowerment coach and a channel. I enjoy inspiring people to remember who they are and to tune back into their personal truth, to align with it. I help with transition and the whole journey of life. I help people to understand the lessons that they're going through so that they can kind of start to work with them from a different angle of enjoying the process instead of fighting the process, and learning to work with the challenges and see them in a different way.
I think we can all relate to that.
We can all
Yes,
relate to that.
absolutely. Wonderful. And when do you want to talk a little bit when you got the email and the opportunity to work in a book? There's a lot of negativity in the world, and a lot of people are going through challenges right now. And just what excited you to be part of a project that's going to have over 100 authors in a book, and it's going to have inspirational quotes and messages, and just what excited you, and why do you think that's important at this time for people to have this support and a book that they can go to help them get through things? Paul?
Oh, you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're talking.
I guess you were so listening.
You and I had talked about this book before it actually came to fruition, and I actually thought it was a wonderful idea because we are going through a transition time, and there are a lot of people that are having major shifts happen in their life, and there's a lot of fear out there, and we're moving into higher layers of love and higher layers of light, and fear doesn't work too well in that environment. But a lot of what's happening, I think, are people are having things they're attached to change in their life. Their attachments are being slowly moved away from them, and they're being asked to move more into trust. And that's why I like the idea of this book, and with the different quotes from different people, because it gives insight from over 100 different aware souls about how they can approach the future from a different perspective.
Great. Wow. Wonderful. Angela?
Yes, very well put, Paul. It's very well put. It is. It's just a time of major change. The old programs that we have abided by for so long are no longer serving us. And it's time to start evolving to a higher way of living, a more conscious, aware way of living. And what is happening is we're kind of just shedding so much at once, personally, and then throughout everything, throughout relationships. It will affect families, it will affect jobs, governments, religion, to the highest degree. So with everyone shifting and changing, I think that so many people need to be reminded there's a good ending. It's a good thing. It's a lot of transition, but it's a great journey, and to step out of the fear, and if you can have yourself to shift around to see that that there's a higher order going on, And to align with that, you can step into trust and step out of fear. And that's probably one of the biggest steps you'll ever make on your journey.
Never easy.
So I have a really great question for you. What do you feel is your philosophy on what consciousness is for the listening audience?
You know, I heard when you asked this question earlier, and I thought it would be an excellent time to do flow, a soul reading. And so, and give, kind of do a little self-advertising, but at the same time get an answer.
Do you want to explain what a soul reading is real quick if someone's tuning in?
So a soul reading is, it's when I've done a lot of work to open up my energy system, so where when I receive information from the heavenly realms, it bypasses my ego and my mind, and basically it's hopefully pure information. Some people refer to it as channeling, but my voice doesn't get all weird.
No, you don't change
I don't change my voice, yeah. So soul reading is, if I was doing it for an individual, I would check with their heavens, teams, and guides, angels, and saints, and then ask, what would bring the greatest solution to this particular dilemma they bring to the table. So I can ask God, what is consciousness, and see what the answer is.
Okay, that would be great.
I have to close my eyes.
Tune in.
My dear beloved children, I am grateful for this opportunity to give you my answer on what is consciousness. Many on earth feel that consciousness is limited to the human mind. However, consciousness resonates through all entities. The consciousness that is infused in all entities is the consciousness of oneness and love. However, given the nature of the experience on this plane and the free will given to all souls, the consciousness is also available to be impacted by thoughts, both negative and positive, and accordingly, new manifestation and new shift occurs. Consciousness is a reflection of all that has ever been thought in all time, both individually and collectively. And if one wishes to shift consciousness, one must focus not only on themselves, but on the collective whole, since we are all one. I share with you one simple solution: focus on love, because that is the original consciousness, and when that is the majority of the collective, then the transition for all and whatever they are going through will be much smoother. How? Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Sharing, and everybody else that assisted with that soul communication. Angela?
Consciousness to me is us becoming aware of what we've been unaware of. Kind of simply put. But to wrap your hands around all of that we've been unaware of is kind of the difficult thing to explain. But understanding that we are all one, that we are creating our reality, that we have so much more power in creating everything that is going on, and taking back that power, becoming conscious of our power as creators.
And sometimes it's about keeping it simple.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Angela this time and kind of mix things up. Is there a book or a movie or a workshop that just really made a difference in your life, and you had some amazing aha moments that you might want to share? It's interesting because I've kind of been on my own personal journey for about the last 10 years. And I'm actually right now getting ready to publish my memoir in about 30 days of my personal journey. And it talks about how I started reconnecting to my inner truth and realigning with my true self through so many different modalities. Numerology, astrology, toe reading. There are so many modalities that will speak to you. It's just that you have to find what channel you're ready to receive from.
I've been to seminars across the states. I've been, actually last year I was on 4 continents, exploring other cultures and people and belief systems. So it's hard to say one, but I do remember about 6 or so years ago being at a Celebrate Your Life conference for about 4 days in Phoenix. And I have to say that was a pivotal point because I was going through so much personal transformation at the time. To be with 3,000 or 4,000 people of like-minded energy, and just pure joy coming from their heart and having the same vision was an amazing experience. I felt like I wasn't different anymore. I felt like I was starting to find my family and align with my true path. So that was a huge moment, I think, yes.
And that's what's nice about the book, that we'll have all these amazing people to surround ourselves with and be
Yes,
inspired by.
absolutely.
Paul?
I'm wondering what your favorite book is.
What my favorite book?
Yeah.
I
That's a
would,
good question.
I have so many books, and I think one of the last workshops that I took that I really had an aha moment was, and I've gone to it twice, so maybe it took the second time, was John D. Martini. We're so lucky to be in Hawaii because there's so many great workshops and people that come in. And he had us, and we were there till 2 or 3 in the morning till everybody got it. So we almost had to work as a team. And going through our story, of the reality to us at that time, or perception of something that happened in childhood or in the past, and we're still holding on to it, but it's really not serving us. And kind of taking that story apart and looking at it differently and rewriting it and going, wow, okay, that actually wasn't reality, and I don't need to have that perception,
That's
and
what you were
rewriting
talking
it.
about.
Right.
Yeah, and
how
I-
you're choosing to experience it.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes it takes a while to distance yourself from that experience to really be able to shift that perspective of seeing the gift. That's what I love.
Oh, yeah, the
When I can
blessings in
teach
that.
someone to see the gift and the challenge. That you're really creating this for you in so many ways for you to
Right.
learn a lesson. So understand the lesson, appreciate the gift, and if you get the lesson, you get to move on.
Yes.
People always love it when I say that. Well, let's do that then.
Okay, then I'll do the work, so I'm gonna do it again. So yeah, it's an aha moment. I think I did the workshop the first time, and then like 3 years later, and we had to do that exercise for 4 or 5 hours until we really got it. So you were sitting there forced, and you want to go home at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you really do the work, and it was just amazing.
But I bet you saw such a growth in yourself.
Transformation.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's kind of a neat system that you had there to kind of see your progress.
And I meet people sometimes, and they're holding on their story. I'm like, can I have your book for a second and show you something? They're
What,
like,
you
no.
smack 'em with it?
Yes, I'm like, no, this is my book, and it's my story, and
You
I'm
should
letting
change.
go.
Try the book.
Yeah.
Smack him with it.
That's the other thing, though, too. You have to let everybody be where they are.
Yes.
Right. And everyone's perfectly right where they are on their own
I'm like,
journey.
okay, hold on, hold on to your book.
So as a coach, Lori.
Yes, I know.
There's no beating.
That's a good learning lesson, too. So Paul, do you?
Oh, okay, now my turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Nice deflection, but.
Yes, thank you. Give me time to
You
consider
learned
my
that.
answer.
Did you learn that from
You're
me?
very talented at
Yeah,
that. I
I'm
did
good
learn
at
that
that.
from you, yes. My spiritual father is Master Shah, and I have to say his wisdom has changed my life. He has so many books, 17 that I know of. If I was to choose one that I think was the best for me and anybody would be, it's called Divine Transformation. And it's a bright red book, and the foundation of it is that you can transform all aspects of life with love and forgiveness. And through it, there's a lot of power and tools and techniques and practices. And I've given this book to thousands of people, probably, literally 1,000 people, because I've had that many books. But I would say about 10 or 15 people I've heard back from, and they're all saying the same thing. Wow, I just did the practice, and it's amazing how it transformed. Because forgiveness is something that a lot of people hold on to. My mother did, my father did this. This person raped me, that person cheated from me, that husband's, lied to me, whatever. And yet we fail to recognize that, everything happens for a reason. Everything is on an opportunity to forgive and love and move forward. And we just hold on to these things. So for me, that's very relevant. One of my other favorite books, The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Very powerful, written about the 1940s or 50s, but it's about a bunch of scientists that went back to the Himalayas, and about 15 of them, and they're scientists, got their little, and they're writing down, and they're watching what they refer to as masters, people that disappear and reappear and walk on water and walk through fire and things that we call impossible, and they're witnessing it as scientists, and that's what the book is about. There's actually 6 sections to the book, so very profound, because through there they actually are in the presence of very high-level deities, Jesus and Buddha and whatnot. And so one's reading it and they're wondering, wow, is this made up or is this real? But as you read it, you can't help but comprehend that it's authentic. And it kind of dissects a lot of the dogma that keeps people stuck in religious blockages when we're all just one, we're all just love. And that's what resonates through the entire passage of the book. So I enjoy that, yeah.
I'll have to look at that book.
That's a good one, yeah.
Look at that in the future. Great. Is there, Angela, have you gone through maybe challenging times like in the last 5 or 10 years? And is there anything, yes,
that's why I'm writing the book.
Yeah, right. Is there any like different disciplines or support or networking system that you worked with that really helped you get through the challenge and give you hope and inspiration that you might want to share with maybe somebody who's going through the same, tough time you went through?
It's amazing because you can find your support anywhere. You just have to look and be open to receive, because I think so many times we build up the wall and we want to keep all the pain inside and we want to keep everybody else outside. But yeah, it's true about the book. So many things passed through my life, so many teachers. Sometimes I would get my wisdom from a fortune cookie.
Wow, okay,
there's inspiration and messages everywhere for you to receive, and you just have to decide what is going to be, where am I going to focus to receive my message. And it's kind of a little interesting game you can play with yourself, actually. It's like, okay, I'm going to use listening to music. It was amazing. I'd be driving down the street and the song would come on that would just literally make me almost pull off the road and cry, because it would be the message that I needed to hear at that moment. Oh, and another thing too, just going to the bookstore and flipping open a book, and all of a sudden the question that I'd been pondering for 2 days, I flipped open the book to the page that has right there. I mean, literally just about ready to fall over in the aisle and laughing out loud, because the messages will come through, if you're open to see
It
them.
reminds me of that movie, and he would be driving down the road and the message would be on the sign.
Oh, what a great film
Do you
movie.
remember the name of that movie?
That's the Steve Martin movie, right?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
forget the name of that, but
Something about California.
yeah, it had signs up, and it was always the answer
Great
to his
movie,
question.
though.
So it reminds
Yeah.
me of that movie. So it was very funny.
That's actually hilarious. And a similar note, today I was talking to my manager, and she was saying, the new iPhone, this is Siri, the one that talks to you. Okay, are you familiar with that?
No, and I don't watch it.
So you have an
No.
iPhone, you talk to it, and you say, Siri, what's the temperature today? The temperature today? So anyway, the phone talks back. So their little 4-year-old, they're pretty sharp nowadays. He's like, the phone talks? And they put the phone in the kid's hand, they got the camera, they're watching. He's like, what's your name? And the phone's talking back to him. Are you a computer or a human? The child doesn't know, so it's real questions. And she was busting up, but it just goes to show you the inner communication that we have. So sorry I derailed there, but
Right. So is that the answer to your question?
No.
Okay.
I forgot the question.
The question was, have you gone through challenging times? And I'm hoping that your answer is not an iPhone. Challenging times in the last 5 to 10 years that you can say.
If you didn't go through challenging times, you're either dead or you're sitting on a mountain somewhere and talking to nobody. I don't know.
In denial.
Yeah, serious denial. Yes, absolutely. And but a big part of it was because my soul was sick and tired of me ignoring its path. It's like, look, this is you're having a physical experience on my behalf. I'm the soul, you're the physical. You're supposed to be here to help me. And it kept putting a lot of blockages in my life because it kept trying to do things that were not moving me forward. It was just selfish, ego-based things. And we're going back about 8, 9, 10 years ago. And then I got on the right path. I started following higher level masters. But when you do that, you get testing, very high level testing. And so you get ego stuff and money stuff and attachment stuff shoved in your face, and you're forced to push through it. And along the way, you learn a lot of wisdom, which fortunately I now apply through my soul healing and coaching services to assist people in moving through and past whatever's happening in their lives. So yeah, major stuff. And I can say again that Love Peace Harmony Center here in Honolulu, Dr. Shaw's teachings, using love and forgiveness and understanding the power of love, the power of forgiveness has been transformative. Ah, there we go.
LA Story.
That's
Oh,
the
LA,
movie, LA
okay,
Story.
LA Story.
Yeah.
Thank you to our technical support.
Yeah, good movie. Yeah, funny movie.
Love and forgiveness. That's a definitely.
You know, it's simple. I said it several times now, but it's effective.
And you're both working on books right now, and separate to the 2013 Messages of Peace from Hawaii. You're also working on books. Would you like to share your book?
Yeah, Angela just asked me what it was, and I said it's How to Avoid Finding Your Soulmate. And, you know, and I was trying to think of a title, and like, well, it's got to be something that gets people's attention.
And that does.
But what it's about is, you know, everyone has a certain approach to try to find their mate, meeting people online, etc., etc. But at least from the philosophy I've chosen to accept in my life is that responsibility occurs on every negative thing and every positive thing. So if anything good, I win the lottery, I take responsibility. I did that, right? Because my soul created the good karma. If something unpleasant happens to me, I got to take responsibility for that. But that is a foundation that runs through my entire book, because it teaches people that if you want to find your soulmate, you must learn to remove those blockages that you have self-created and attract that person using manifestation techniques, and at the same time communication on a soul level. This is one of the things I teach, is soul communication. Very effective. And so I teach people a completely different aspect of how to approach soulmate on the level of soul, at the level of origin, because we're soul first, then we're mind, and then we're body. So if you can transform the karmic blockages that occur at the level of soul, then the mind and body has to transform as well. So it's the base of what I teach and how I heal, and it works in finding your soulmate as well.
Well, 60% divorce rate. I think people may get.
Yeah, they might find some value in it
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And it has a very fun title.
And because we avoid finding him by not taking responsibility. That's the key.
Ooh,
I know.
And that's work.
Yeah. You mean it's my fault? Yeah, it actually is.
Angela, you have some other book projects that you're going to be working on after.
I do, actually. The next book that I want to start on, the first book is my memoir, is A Soul's Journey Home. And then actually from that I will be working on some workbooks that will come from that. But my next book is also on relationship. Yeah, and understanding. I think my philosophy is maybe a little bit different than some that have been out there before. So I'm kind of anxious to get it out there. Because I kind of want to go on to share my philosophy about relationships being a learning process. You know, it's about you learning about yourself through various relationships that are brought to you, not only intimate relationships, but all relationships, and helping people to start to understand what the relationship is teaching them, is showing them, and to understand that. It's kind of taking my personal coaching to specifically look at the relationship part. So that'll probably be the next one after the workbooks.
Yeah, I think I need to read both. So the more the better the books out there, so everybody can get different philosophies. So great. I'm very excited. We're going to have 100 different authors, and you're just two people in this amazing book, and it's going to be great.
I think the book's going to be, well received, and every person has a unique perspective. And so the person might read all 100 pages, they might read 5, but they're probably only going to resonate maybe 7, 8, 10 of the quotes. But those 7, 8, 10 could change their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's that one LA Story message that they might be needing at that time. And Worth and I were the publisher was very excited to start this, because I kept hearing 2012. And I think there's like 3,000 or 4,000 books written on 2012, but nobody was talking about 2013 and beyond that. So, and that's only in 2 more months. And the world's not ending on December 21st. With all the astrology things.
It's not?
No. So we'll still be here. And
I sold all my stocks. I sold everything.
And you can wait on buying Christmas presents until the 22nd. And kind of hold back. So you might be kind of save you on what we.
Buy the Christmas presents on the 22nd, 23rd if we make it past the 21st.
Yeah.
Good
So
idea.
Just wait on that.
Good idea.
So yes, there is a life in a couple months, and everybody's been watching a lot of the elections and things like that. So, so having something positive, and also everybody is from Hawaii that's going to be in the book, and they have their own practices and products and services that are going to really help people out there. So if you resonate the readers with the person and what they have to say, you might want to work.
Now,
with
how's the book going to be available, Lori? Is it print or ebook?
We're going to do ebook and print.
So how do people find it?
Well, of course, you can find it on HawaiiWellnessMagazine.com on the website. There'll be more information with that, and we'll be doing more TV shows.
And you're probably going to send out an e-blast, right? Or like a Facebook notice?
Yeah.
This is our book, it's out there now.
And we'll be on Amazon.
So for the listening audience, you will be able to get it.
And we'll be working with Worth Grace Media, and she's a nationwide, and she's worked with a lot of book launches.
She's a sweetheart.
And she knows what she just worked with another author in the past, and they just launched her book, and she's in the top Amazon bestseller list. So
Wow.
very exciting. So, is there anything that just popped in your head during this last conversations that you'd like to share about your business? And you can raise your hand. You can go first. About how people,
She's like crowding me. I was like,
I'm very excited. Just about your services, and if somebody that's listening really says, I can relate to you, I'd like to contact you and maybe work with you and kind of get through some things, and how can they get in touch with you?
You can go to my website, www.shine-your-light.com, or you can go to angelabushman.com also. They'll both take you to the same website. You can find me on Facebook at Shine Your Light by Angela. Follow my blog. And I just wanted to expand really quickly on the 2013, why it's important, because it's not an ending. I think, this transition has been going on for so long. It will continue to go on for so much longer. And we need to understand that it's not going to be some kind of pinnacle and everything's over. I think people understand that, we're taking baby steps, and it's really going well, and the ending's all good. So I think that's, why I think the 2013 book is important, to kind of get people to focus beyond the 2012, which has been hyped so much.
Right. Thank you. And do you want to talk a little bit about, how you might be able to help someone with your life coaching, or more about your services?
I would love to. I love to do coachings. My book, I don't know if I said the name of it yet, is Soul's Journey Home, is what I am trying to do as my first step to get beyond just the one-on-one coachings, because so many women were relating, actually men too, relating to just the whole process of, having the whole process of how did you do it? How did you become happy, healthy, and whole? So I think that tool is going to be nice to be available to more people, and then I hope to go on and do workshops out of that.
Great. I'm excited. And Paul, how can someone get in touch with you if they'd like to get a soul reading?
I can be reached at the Love Peace Harmony Center here in Honolulu, and my website is www.asoulhealer.com. Pretty simple, asoulhealer.com. And so I do soul readings, and I do offer a free 10-minute soul reading, so if you want to have the experience, you can do it in person or over the phone. And then also the healings, I can't say enough how profound the healings are. They're not limited to individuals. I do pets as well, and it can be done at a distance. So very profound when you heal at the level of soul. The body and the mind does shift. And it's not limited to the physical, so keep that in mind. It can bless finances and relationships and businesses and things of that nature. And then also, my friend here, Lori, wants me to do soul readings for businesses to assist them with making major choices and help them not make choices that they can't foresee the problems with. And one of the values of connecting to the soul world and getting information is the soul world doesn't necessarily want negative things to happen. They want everyone to be happy and move forward. Same thing with relationships. So very, very powerful. So you can also reach me at my phone number, which is 808-469-6199. And if you forget all that, then contact Lori. She knows how to get a hold of me.
She knows where we are.
She knows how to get a hold of me.
She can track us down. Lori's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. And you also have a show on Alelo.
Yes, I do 2 shows a month. They actually show every week. Mondays, channel 55 at 5:30 p.m. And they're on their website. You can see them again. But I have a few videos on my website so people can get a little more feeling. But basically, if it resonates with you, what I've said, give me a call, give Lori a call, give it a shot, and try out a slow reading, try out a healing. You'll like it.
Great. Well, I'm very excited for the book to come out and can't wait to read your messages. Everybody's still sending in their submissions, and we're working on editing the book. So that will be out in December. So thank you for participating with our book project and really bringing love and peace and hope to the community in Hawaii.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
joining
us,
us
Lori.
today.
doing it.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
doing
you.
it.
Thank you.